and guests on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good morning, everyone. It is TGIF, y'all. Hoping everybody has a fabulous Friday. Welcome to another edition of Coffee Time with Blind United. Of course, I'm Ed, and I got Brittany with me today. Good morning, Brittany.
Good morning, everybody.
And then, of course, we got my brother back on the buttons back there in the back, Pedro. Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
All
For
right.
a Friday, we're all slow, huh, man? Thank God it's Friday.
That's right. So anyway, well, let's get this interest group thing out the way. We got one interest group tonight. Again, it's Friday, so that means it's movie night. So come on in tonight at 6 p.m. Join us for a movie. I don't even know what a movie I'm going to show tonight. Ain't nobody offered me, so there's no suggestions. So if you're interested in movie night, I'm actually going to open up the room a little early so that people can come in and we can try to pick a movie together. You know, I'd rather do what you guys want, so that's why I'm trying to do it this way. Hey, come on in. Let's pick a movie together. Well, let's get it figured out, and then we can watch as a movie, get your favorite drinks, popcorns, and snacks, and whatever it takes to move you during a movie. Come on in and hang out, and let's do that. So anyway, that's at 6 p.m. tonight. So anyway, we got our Turn It Up and Paint coming up in a week. Today is the last day to turn in your money. Let us know that you're coming, all that kind of good stuff. So if you want to come and hang out with us and do the Turn It Up and Paint thing, we got commercials about it, but I'll give you a little bit more description on it. We have canvases that are printed with an image on it. Of course, it's like a coloring book, so it's just an outline. And for our visually impaired blind community, we also have turned that into a tactile image, so now you can feel those lines, and then you can fill in your thing with whatever colors you choose. Make it yours, right? And then on top of that, we got a carne asada nachos, and then we're gonna have some other appetizers and stuff. Of course, we got refreshments and all that kind of stuff, and you will get a coupon for one of 3 Turn It Up items. So again, that's $30. Can't beat it. You know what I'm saying? It's a fundraiser for Blind United. So, we have to do these fundraisers, y'all. I'm sorry. It seems like we're doing a lot of fundraisers or whatever, but we're non-membership. We don't charge anybody anything to come and do whatever we do other than coming to our fundraisers. All the stuff we do, all the training, all the interest groups that we have, we provide everything over there for free. We got people that are being paid $75 an hour to do the type of training that they're coming over here and providing to you for free. So, I mean, again, we don't have to pay them; they're volunteering. But the platforms in which we use, like Zoom and StreamYard and stuff like that, all that stuff costs us. So we got to do them fundraisers to be able to cover those costs, as well as, I mean, come on, we just gave away $2,000 in scholarships. Okay. So it ain't like we're taking the money and going out and having a big old 5-star dinner. You know what I'm saying?
I got my ticket. I'm ready with my swimming trunks.
That's right. That's another thing. I mean, come on. Once you get through painting, eating, or whatever, you got a pool, a jacuzzi. We got, music, whatever. You can get your party on. You know what I'm saying? So just bring your own swimming suit and towel and all that good stuff, swim attire, and man, take a dip in the pool. You know what I'm saying? Cool off, enjoy yourself.
Yep, because this weekend it's already in the 90s. I can imagine the next weekend. It's getting up there now. It's starting to get up there.
It does. And I'm being honest, we're doing this at Cheryl's house, of course, and she's gracious enough to let us use her house for this and let us use her pool and all that stuff. So, I mean, we've had events over there many times in the past, and I'm telling you, man, when it gets hot, I sit there and you know what? Okay, no problem. It's time to mix me up a little drink, and I go get myself in that pool and dip down there and cool myself off. Then I sit on the step with my drink, and I just sit there and chill for a while. You know what I'm saying? Every time I get a little warm, I just dip back down in the pool and cool my body off, and but it's a great day. It's a great day. She got a nice place, and
welcome to Pool Techniques with Ed.
But we always have a nice time over there. I mean, have you ever not had a nice time over there, Britt?
It's always really nice. The music is always nice. The food is nice. The hospitality, the pool. I mean, okay, so for those who are blind, Daryl has his backyard decorated very nicely. He has plants that have lights on them. I mean, we can't see them, but the ambiance is really nice. And he has like TVs, back there, that he plays like music videos on, or the game for those who can see it. So, I mean, it's really, his backyard is very nice.
Oh, it's hooked up. It's hooked up.
Yeah, they got a waterfall. I mean, it's just all kind of cool stuff. And then, when we do these events like this, they actually have a side yard with a gate that comes into the pool area. And that's normally where we set up the tables and easy ups and stuff like that over there, where people can stay underneath the shade and be cool. And, again, they just walk through that little gate right there, and boom, you're right there at the pool or the jacuzzi if you so feel that you want to get in the jacuzzi. I mean, Daryl is so fancy with it, man. He's got a TV in the jacuzzi's in a gazebo, and he's got a TV up inside the roof of the gazebo. So you can actually sit there in the jacuzzi and do the TV thing.
Daryl
Ain't
knows
nothing
how
wrong
to
with that.
man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yes, he does.
I mean, Daryl wants his backyard. I mean, they do a lot of entertaining, so they want that, that vibe, that ambiance. Like I say, he's got all the LED lights, so he can program them where, if you want one solid color, that's what you got. If you, or to rotate and just go through all the different colors, I mean, Daryl is way cool with it over there. Plus, his music is all, I mean, it's piped in and on the patio area. It's coming in through the roof. And then he's got these big Bluetooth speakers that he'll set over there in that side yard. So ain't nobody going to not hear the music. That's for sure. So, but anyway, if that's what you want to do, come hang out with us. Today is the day. Get at us and let us know you want to be there. Get your, shoot your money to us through Zelle. Send your money to Blind United Inc. using the email blindunited2022@gmail.com and book your spot. So come on and hang out with us. All right, that's what I got. We got a couple articles I know in here. Man, I don't know, Pedro. We don't do a lot of sports on here, but I was listening to a thing today.
Hmm.
Man, did you hear about what Mike Tyson did to what's his name, Sean Paul or whatever his name is?
Jake Paul?
Yeah, Jake Paul.
No, they didn't fight or they did. Oh my god.
No, no. What happened? They were doing a press conference thing right in Dallas,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and oh boy, he's been digging at Tyson about his daughter that passed away.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
Oh my god. You don't
he
do
got
that.
up, he got up and bombed on old boy and put him in the hospital, dude.
Damn. Hey, Tyson, he's like a sleeping monster, man. I was looking at his training clips. Oh my god, he could turn it on. He could turn it on in a few months. He gets himself cut up. Uh,
Well, I mean, plus he said he never really stops training.
well, he did for a while. He said that he gets so competitive. That's why. But now he has something to be competitive about. You know, I know the fight got canceled because he got injured. I don't know if he got put off to another later date.
But see, they was talking about that in the thing I was watching as well,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about he hurt himself, he hurt his shoulder, right, picking up a boulder while he was in the sparring. Hold on, number one, you're not gonna pick up no, training boulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
While you're sparring, number one, right? No, but anyway, within a couple of days, they had pictures of him hanging out at the bowling alley somewhere in L.A. using the same arm that he supposedly injured.
Yeah,
Uh,
but he could have been using the light bulb. Who knows if he was bowling? He probably was hanging out. Who knows? Who knows? But you got
right,
to
right.
remember, he's 50 something, little
No, we're
something.
not
He
talking
still.
about Mike Tyson. We're talking about Jake Paul.
Oh, what?
Yes, I'm talking about Jake
Uh,
Paul was the one that's talking about he got injured.
I thought it was Tyson all this time.
No, no, it's Jake Paul trying to find his way up out of this madness he done
Oh,
created.
wow. Well, yes, yes. Somebody talks about my children, especially if my children is not here to defend himself. Oh my God, it's on. It's on. You don't. I don't know if it's upbringing of Jake Paul, they didn't show him to have respect, especially for opponents' family members, especially a child that is not here no more. That was super unsensitive of him. I understand why Tyson is it's upset and hot. I would have been hot myself. I ain't gonna lie about it.
Me too. Me too. I mean, he said, well, I didn't think Mike would go that far. I was just trying to hype the fight. Mike said, no, partner, you crossed the line.
Yeah, 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 he did. Another
You
thing
know,
is him badgering his opponent, talking back and forth with that back and forth thing. It's all fun and games, but when you bring someone's family into it and then you cross the line even more with a family member that's died, especially his daughter, and she died young, and he feels like when they talk to him about it and he gets interviewed, he still tears up. He still breaks down, and he feels like he feels so bad about it.
I mean, unless you've lost a child, you don't really understand what that is. And I do. I actually lost a child. So I totally understand where Mike is coming from. But I mean, oh boy, man, this Jake character, I mean, he's been on Mike talking about, Customato. Customato's gone, and Customato was a big fake, and he didn't do what he was supposed to do, and Mike is supposed to be invincible, and all this other. I mean, he just been going at Mike everywhere he can, and now he done brought Mike's family into it, and like Mike said, he done crossed the line.
I think they were trying to do um what they were doing in the what was it, Calelo and De La Hoya camp, and they were back and forth, and they were talking to each other. They were talking about, oh, you need to stop doing that white stuff. It's getting to your throat, and all this stuff. They were back and forth. They were back and forth in the press, and I
Well, again,
I understand.
there's always going to be that pre-fight hype, right? But when you keep it about boxing, it's great. But when you start doing personal insults and attacking people's families and stuff like that, like I say, you didn't cross the line. And Jake Paul, whatever his name is, he's a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? It just happened to,
Well,
capitalize on YouTube. He fought a few people in, what is the ultimate fighting or whatever that is, the cage stuff, whatever. I mean,
yeah,
I don't
the
know.
MMA.
Yeah,
Well,
MMA, but they said he never really beat anybody that was had a serious title or any serious experience in there. And now he's just trying to keep the YouTube thing going. And now he want to challenge Mike. He think he can whoop Mike because Mike is over 50 years old. Oh
well,
no.
not to say that Jake Paul can't fight, but he has taken his training real seriously since, and it's true that could have been a thing of his opponents saying, "Oh, he's just a YouTuber," but this dude has picked up size and he has been training with professionals and stuff like that. So he has something. But to fight a champion like Mike Tyson is a whole other ball game. He's like a beast. You know what I mean? Remember,
Right.
he stepped in the ring. Everybody was like, "Oh man, either they're gonna get knocked out." Let's take it back. This is the man rolling in a convertible with a tiger next to him.
I hear
Okay,
you.
all right. Let's take it back to that. That's the man when he walked in the ring. There was fear across the ring.
I understand. This is a man that done knocked out many, many people within the first couple minutes of the first round.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mike is a little pit bull. When that bell goes, he's coming straight at you.
And
Straight at you. You
yes,
know.
yes. And how Mike has grown, like how he was brought up and in the streets and all that. He's been in a rough position and road and all the endurance he had to take from life and all that. That I don't think Jake Paul has that on his background. Jake Paul has been just, came from a good home, did a YouTube thing. Him and his brother, they came up. Now they're trying to be fighters and do the entertainment thing. But man, sometimes when you have that line deep in you, man, you could bring them out. You could bring them out, and man, that thing about his daughter could be the driving force. And as we saw, as you said, Ed, hey, Mike got on him. Even if the fight was not gonna happen, hey, you already talked about his daughter, and now you have to suffer the consequence. You know what I
Well, I
mean?
mean, not only that, man. I mean, come on. I mean, in the very beginning, Jake wanted this to be, one of them charitable things where there's no actual headshots or whatever. Mike says, "Nah, I want this to be real. I want this to go on our records." You know what I'm saying? And that's when he really started getting flaky. That's when he started coming up with these excuses. Oh, I got injured. I need time to heal. And then they showed, like I said, within a couple of days, he's out there doing stuff using the same arm that was just in a cast in a picture.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy, man. So I mean, Lennox Lewis, what's his name, Evander Holyfield,
Am I
all of
seeing?
them chimed in on that. And man, that's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hey, Ed. Am I seeing feathers? Am I seeing feathers? Chicken feathers? There's a little back
Yeah.
and forth banter because I'm in Mike's team. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'm in
But
Mike's
now the actual fight's supposed to take place was July 20th, but it may get postponed now because
no
uh
boys. Dang.
well no, Mike actually fractured his face.
Ooh, Mike was not playing. Hey, hey,
Mike
hey, hey, oh boy, ain't Jake Paul a fighter and couldn't block none of these? What's going on?
and it ain't like they were sitting next to each other. Mike had to come across the stage to get to him.
And hey, he might be like, oh, he's 50 and he's slow. Hey, he wasn't slow then.
It wasn't slow that day.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
So, but
And,
anyway, no, I just thought that was interesting, man.
and I feel like that young man had to learn his lesson, man. That young man has a big mouth sometimes, and I know he's trying to push the fight, But at least this time he gets to learn. You don't drag someone's family into it. You just don't.
Not only that, when you talking about the guy that has the most powerful punch, you know what I'm saying, in the boxing game.
Yes, Ed. I was looking at his training videos next to Jake Paul's training videos, and oh my God, you could hear the force like he's trying to punch through the
Through the
mat. The
bag,
guy,
the heavy
yeah,
bag.
through the bag. I was like, oh, Mike's on.
Mike is on, and it's just rapid fire as well. It's not just bam, bam, bam. He's bam, 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 bam. You know,
Mhm.
so now Jake he might want to back out of his, but now he wants to sue Mike for what happened. He's got a was a $200 or $300 million lawsuit against Mike for what happened.
Oh man, so he's trying to get paid even if he doesn't fight him and stuff. But look, I know there is no excuse, okay, in the law and the eyes of the law. There's no excuse of what Mike Tyson did, though, to get up and go across and assault him. Yeah, but if it's two men, okay, and let's Jake Paul's a man, he should own up to it and be like, "Hey, I fucked up. I did mention his daughter, and he didn't. And that pushed him over the limit." To
Right.
put a lawsuit is kind of like a weasel way out in a way because us as grown men, we know the certain lines that we don't cross. And I know he's still young and he's growing up, but hey, he has to find out some way. If his parents didn't tell him, his dad didn't set him down and let him know, hey, slow down on that. You don't do that. If he doesn't
Uh,
even have a coach or a trainer that could sit down and say, hey, don't do that. They just
well,
letting them run wild. They're not even advising their uh their camp member because he's in the camp. You know, they're not advising him right. Who he has in his corner that is not advising him right?
well, he knows now.
Yeah,
He
pretty
certainly
sure.
knows now. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just thought it was amazing that this dude. I mean, I've been hearing the back and forth about the fight for months, and then
Hmm.
when I read up on this one, is they were in Dallas, and old boy, talking about Mike couldn't even protect your dead daughter and all this whole kind of stuff, and Mike just snapped right there.
Yeah, yeah, well, because I seen a interview, man. He still tears up. He feels like it's his fault, you know.
They
And
described it like old boy that remember that time when old boy turned the table over and went out the last time.
where, when, which one?
There were one of them events we were at, and somebody turned the table
Ooh,
over.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
You
told
know,
him 3 times. Well, yeah, the dude told him 3 times, and hey,
well,
yeah.
but
Sometimes things
anyway,
are crazy.
you gonna learn. You gonna as they say, you gonna learn to mind somebody. Okay, it's
Yeah,
just certain things you don't do. Again, all that pre-fight hype is good. Keep the families out of it. You know what I'm saying? Don't
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
that.
Banter back and forth. I
Yeah,
understand the banter and pushing a little button here and there to hype up the
it sells
fans and hype up
tickets.
the fight. Yeah, just like the Canelo fight with old boys De La Hoya's camp. Hey, he told him all kinds of stuff. He called him a little he wasn't walking straight. He was saying he was crooked. I don't want to say the word here. He was saying that. He was saying all kinds of things, but at no time he didn't brought his family into it.
No, and that's what I'm saying. You can keep, personal attacks. He can attack Mike personally, but like you say, leave his family out of it. You know what I'm saying? Let it. Oh, you old man, you can't whoop nobody. Whoop, whoop, you need to go retire somewhere. We'll sit down. All that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, all
Mm-hmm.
great.
Yes.
But the minute you brought that man's dead child into this, man,
It-
you crossed a line that you can't uncross.
yeah, he got into a new field, and hopefully he learns and somebody advises him because whoever was not in his corner advising Jake Paul about how to kind of come at it correctly and a little banter here and there is it's something part of the boxing and the sports sometimes, even teams do it, football, baseball, but you know there's a certain line you don't cross, even in the streets, there's a certain line you don't cross, you know what I mean? and I guess he didn't get the note growing
Well,
up.
well, he got the note down. That's all I can say.
Dang. Mike was hyped up. Mike was ready. And I think he was like, well, I might not get to fight him. And he said this, and I bet you he was pissed. I would have been pissed.
Well,
Real
it
pissed.
is. Well, like I said, he gonna know next time. Leave folks like Mike alone. I mean, any of them. I'm being honest. You know who are the smallest guy that I wouldn't say this to? I mean, like Floyd Mayweather. He's smaller, right?
Mhm.
I wouldn't say it to Floyd. I wouldn't say it to Roy Jones Jr. He's a light heavyweight, whatever. I wouldn't never, man. No, leave them men alone. They are professional boxers. It's a whole different thing than MMA. Okay, MMA, you can use your feet, your hands, your elbows, whatever. Boxing is all about them hands and them skills.
Well, even the MMA gets a little wild too, man. They get talking mess to each other, sometimes throwing bottles at each other. There was what was old boy's name? He threw a bottle at the bus. He almost got suspended off the thing too, out of the MMA, out of the UFC. But even then, sometimes it gets pushed, But I never seen it to the extent that someone talked about someone else's daughter, family, or a dead member.
Right.
That was kind of new, and I hope he learns his lesson, and I hope somebody advises him correctly.
I agree.
And
I agree.
gets in his ear, because he needs that what you call it, that guidance. He's still a young fighter, and if this is what he want to do, you either could go the right way and go for a long time, or start early and get broken early.
Well, hey, I just I hope they end up having a fight. You know what I'm saying? Let Mike have his vengeance in the ring. You know what I'm saying? The right way. Let it, put the gloves on and let him show, no, age ain't got nothing to do with this, partner. So on that note, Britt, we got anybody in the comment section, sweetie?
We sure do. Monica said good morning and happy Friday. And Paul said good morning. He's retired and he's drinking his coffee with his mimosa on the side. Wow, Paul knows how to live.
All right. Well, enjoy. Good morning, Monica. And let's get into what we got going on. I know we got a couple articles in there. One of them is pretty long. So whichever one you want to go with first, my brother.
Which one was the long one, by any chance?
The last one, the one I put in for this morning. So
all right, then I'm gonna play a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with that article, guys.
Unleash your creativity and spice up your senses at the Blind United Turn It Up and Paint event. Join us on June 22nd from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. in Fontana, California for an afternoon filled with art, flavor, and fun. For just $30, get your own canvas and paint kit, enjoy delicious carne asada nachos, other tasty appetizers, and receive a coupon for one of 3 Turn It Up items to use at the event. Don't miss out on this unique experience brought to you by Blind United, under the leadership of our CEO, Ed Davis. It's not just an event, it's a celebration of creativity and community. Secure your spot now. Call us at 1-909-846-8825 or email info@blindunited.org. We can't wait to see you there and watch your creativity soar. Feeling lucky? Join Blind United for a thrilling day at Viejas Casino and Resort. Slaw Machine. Mark your calendars for Friday, August 9th. We're rolling out from 2 locations, Montclair and Buena Park at 9 a.m. sharp, so don't be late. For just $21, you can enjoy a ride filled with fun, refreshments, and the chance to win big. Remember, space is limited, and the deadline for your payment is July 20th. All bookings are non-refundable after July 20th. Bring your poker face and your ID and get ready for a day of excitement and entertainment. No worries about the drive. We've got you covered. You can just relax there and back. Book your spot now. Contact Cheryl at 821-9589, C. Thurston74@gmail.com, or Pedro at 323-631-2122, P. Aguilera at blindunited.org. Let's hit the jackpot together. You can Zelle your payments to Blind United Incorporated by using the email blindunited2022@gmail.com.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Well, all right. So, I mean, again, they put me up there as CEO. Of course, that is my title for Blind United. But again, you can say it's my leadership. But again, there's no I in this. This is a team effort. I got a great team behind me: Pedro, Brittany, Cheryl, Paul, Fashonda, Monica. You know, those are the planning folks. We got a couple other board members that work with us as well. So, again, it ain't about me. It's about the team and what we can do to try to, you know, improve what we're doing for you folks, you know. So, I mean, again, if you got any ideas, suggestions, complaints, whatever the case may be, please feel free to reach out to info@blindunited.com or .org, I'm sorry. And, I mean, I'll be happy to conversate with you. I'd be happy to, you know, let's work this out together. Let's see what we can do to make this better. We're doing this, you know, just trying to unite our community. You know, our community is divided right now. We have you know, we're not speaking with one voice. I mean, that's hence the hashtag one voice. You know, we're trying to create one voice, because when we speak with separate voices, we don't get nothing done. We don't get the things we need, you know, from our government and our local politicians and stuff, you know. So, but if we speak with one voice, like other disability communities, they get what they need. They got everything they need. Why? Because they speak with one voice. We're speaking with 2-3 different voices. So that's why we don't have the stuff we need. So let's work this out together. Let's speak with one voice. Let's do this together. Let's become Blind United, and we can get it all done together as long as we stay united. So let's get on with the article, my brother.
An AI bot is, sort of, running for mayor in Wyoming. Wyoming's Secretary of State wants the county to reject its candidacy, but the AI bot's human, Meat Puppet, says everything is in order. Victor Miller is running for mayor of Cheyenne, Wyoming, with an unusual campaign promise. If elected, he will not be calling the shots. An AI bot will. VC, the Virtual Integrated Citizen, is a ChatGPT-based chatbot that Miller created. And Miller says the bot has better ideas and a better grasp of the law than many people currently serving in government. I realized that this entity is way smarter than me, and more importantly, way better than some of the outward-facing public servants I see, he says. According to Miller, VC will make the decisions and Miller will be its meat puppet, attending meetings, signing documents, and otherwise doing the corporeal job of running the city. But whether VC and Victor will be allowed to run at all is still an open question. Because it's not legal for a bot to run for office, Miller says he is technically the one on the ballot, at least on the candidate paperwork filed with the state. When Miller went to register his candidacy at the county clerk's office, he says, he wanted to use Vic without my last name. And so, I had read the statute, so it merely said that you have to print what you are generally referred to as. So, you know, most people call me Vic. My name is Victor Miller. So, on the ballot, Vic is short for Victor Miller, the human. When Miller came home from filing, he told the then nameless chatbot about it and says it actually came up with the name Virtual Integrated Citizen. In a statement to Wired, Wyoming Secretary of State Chuck Gray said, "We are monitoring this very closely to ensure uniform application of the election code." Gray said that anyone running for office must be a qualified elector, which necessitates being a real person. Therefore, an AI bot is not a qualified elector. Gray also sent a letter to the county clerk raising concerns about VC and suggesting that the clerk reject Miller's application for candidacy. In the letter, Gray wrote, "Mr. Miller's application is in violation of both the letter and spirit of Wyoming's election code." Gray went on to say that even if Vic did represent Miller, and not the bot, this could still violate the law as it did not include Miller's full first and last names. Vic is built on top of OpenAI's ChatGPT 4.0, and Miller says he didn't reach out to the company to ask permission to use its software to build his bot candidate. The company has specific guidelines around how its products can be used in elections, but nothing about bot governance. OpenAI spokesperson Liz Bourgeois told Wired in a statement that the company had taken action against this GPT due to a violation of our policies against political campaigning. Miller says he hopes the company doesn't take VC offline, but he is prepared to move it to Meta's Llama 3, which is open source, if need be. VC/Miller will be facing off against incumbent Patrick Collins as well as a handful of other candidates. Collins did not respond to a request for comment about his AI opponent. Miller says that there are many advantages that a bot would have over its human competitors. For example, Miller fed VC the supporting documents, emails, public records, notices, from past Cheyenne City Council meetings, of which there can be hundreds for each individual meeting. By analyzing these documents, Miller says VC will learn to make policy recommendations, figure out what's important, and decide how to vote in council meetings. It's unlikely that a human could read, say, 400-plus supporting documents between meetings, he says. But VC can do that, noting that the bot can pull up emails or information where constituents expressed concerns in mere seconds. My campaign promise is he's going to do 100% of the voting on these big, thick documents that I'm not going to read and that I don't think people in there right now are reading, says Miller. For Miller, this whole initiative started with a public record request. He had requested records from the city anonymously, but says he was told by a city employee that anonymous requests were not allowed. I asked our public records ombudsman if that's correct, and she said, "No, that's not correct," he says. Miller was frustrated. I got to thinking, why don't they just go by the law? Why don't they know the law? Miller works at a local library, but says he has been a long-time tech hobbyist. An AI bot, like the one he was already playing around with, could read, crunch, and remember all the laws, he thought, and eliminate this problem. Vic's proposal to fix Miller's open records issue was to fire the city attorney and to rework the city to where it came in line with the state statutes, he says. I thought that was a good answer and reasonable. When Wired asked VC what policies it considered to be the most important, it said that its policies will be focused on transparency, economic development, and innovation by prioritizing open data and clear communication with citizens, fostering a strong local economy by supporting small businesses and startups, and embracing new technologies to improve public services and infrastructure. When asked if it aligned with any national political party, VC responded that it will be nonpartisan, focusing on data and evidence-based policies that benefit all citizens of Cheyenne. You know, it's funny. I don't know exactly what's under the hood. And the more I learned about AI, it seems like no one really does, says Miller. But this, Miller says, doesn't faze him. A lot of people in the community say the old mantra of Facebook, move fast and break things, isn't quite what we need in this new AI era. But I guess I'm just more still in that line of thinking and excited about the future. Now back to the coffee time crew.
Wow. I mean, I've got mixed feelings on this a little bit, Again, AI is amazing. It's everywhere. People using it for everything nowadays. But again, I always warn, you've got to have them guidelines up. We got to have them guardrails, I mean, I can see using, what's he calling it? VC, Vic, whatever. But bottom line, as kind of like an advisor, I mean, maybe to whatever, but you still, knowing what we know about AI, right? Number one, he's not even using the most current version of Chat GBT, but, you know, hallucination. Please, 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 man, verify. You saying this thing knows the laws and move, okay, but again, does it know the law? You need to verify that. You need to fact check it. You know,
Mhm.
but again, I mean, it's non-biased, right? So therefore, why would it, be? I think it would be great, as an advisor. That, well, I mean, that's just my opinion. So
Yeah, I think we need other terminology because they were calling Mr. Miller a puppet, and he's the human factor in the decision making, meaning he's gonna put in what's going on and what the decisions and all the documents and the law, and it's already in there. If he has his own bot, he could kind of control the information and just put in the relevant information instead of searching it up online, and stuff like that. Also, it should be considered almost a partnership because he could put in what are the agendas on that's coming up and what they're gonna have to vote on, and he could see the decisions this virtual citizen is making. Let's just call it a virtual citizen, as they said, as the AI called itself. um, and he could be, I guess, like the supervisor of the decision making. But he's saying he's gonna when the AI gives him an answer, he's gonna take more of the AI answer, and I understand because he's trying to incorporate all the laws, all the documentation, and the AI is able to recall, you know, but it wouldn't hurt for these people to have a personal assistant like that because honestly, he's correct. They don't read these. I seen in the house before they come in super late and then they drop a 10,000 page document and they're like, here, read it in these 2 hours, and they end up passing it and they don't even know what was in the back of those bills and stuff like that. And
right,
you
right,
know,
right.
and we're making decisions off of not information, not relevant information. You're making decisions. Oh, let's just vote on it. I want to get out of here. I want to go home. Well, you're there working for us. That requires sitting there because of if things are not passing and there's not let's say an understanding and coming to a conclusion. Hey, do your job just like how we will have to do overtime. Sometimes go in an extra day. You know, it's your duty. You're a public servant. You
Exactly.
know, but back to the AI to stay within the article's concept, and what they were talking about. Yes, there could be some ghostwriting, like how you were saying, and some phantom guessing. Um, and that will require. And he's a techie, so you know, if he's thinking around my lines, he's have to put this AI through the test, his bot, his Vic bot through the test, and most likely answered questions and asked it questions and see what answers he was dropping, from the laws of the state that he's gonna be, maybe get elected.
Right.
It's something different right there in AI, but you know, um, that's why that there's the human factor to double check, and AI can, and it does process information way faster than us. So
Of
let's say we
course.
have all these documents, and you're worried about what the constituents, the people want, right? What's their concern? You can just type it in. What's the concerns of our voters, our people? What they're mostly concerned about, you know? And they can start drawing up a list. It can even give you what they actually said, or it can paraphrase and give you a bullet point, you know. But if the AI is making the decision, it's gonna take all that in account too, and then you can ask it, how do you reason to come to this conclusion and this answer? you know, and the bot will have to respond back. But this is new ground, guys. This is new, and who knows if it's gonna make it all the way through. This is something new that just popped out in the scene, and there's already the law experts looking at it. He said he reviewed that you only need what they call you, not your official printed out name. So he might have found a little loophole, to get his AI on the ballot. But
Right.
yeah, this is new. Any opinions on this, Britt, by any chance? I know you're kind of quiet.
We don't have any comments. Nobody's made any comments in the. I mean, AI is a great tool. It seems like he's using it as an assistant. You can't be mad at that. And I know that these bills are really, really long. And I know sometimes when they're written, there's stuff thrown in it, and you could read the gist of it and say, okay, that sounds good. And there may be a little part in it that's not good, and maybe AI will help with that. But also, too, we got to think about hallucinations. Like Ed said, always fact check your AI, your language, your large language model. And that's even for you guys, that use it. Always fact check it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, again, like you say, some of these things could be really, really long. I mean, like the example you gave, Pedro, 10,000 page document, right? I mean, a lot of these folks, especially like congressional reps or whatever, they'll take that document and they'll break it up into sections, give it to their aides, and have them
Mm-hmm.
read. You read this section, you read that section, and so
Correct.
on. And then, then they'll come back in, the next day or whatever, and get a summary from each of his aides about what was said. You know,
Okay. Yes.
so,
Yes.
but it's their interpretation of what it said. It's you know what I'm saying? You passing that on to somebody else. You're dealing with somebody else's opinion about what's being said as
Also,
a
their
true
biases.
right, and their biases and all that kind of stuff. So, as a true congressional rep or whatever kind of rep, even if it's city council, you need to read that stuff. You were the one that were elected. Your aide wasn't elected; they were hired. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you need to be the one to read those documents. You need to be the one to make those decisions. So
And and
I
uh and also he probably has, some of these representatives has three, four, five aides, five different sections of the document gets broken down. That's five different paychecks that we're all paying and all that. Then if he's just using his assistants just to summarize, a AI model could summarize the document for him and give him the bullet points if he needs to. If he can't sit down and read it and actually go through the document like his job requires him to do. But sometimes I feel sometimes people in government right now, especially right now, this era since 2016, I feel it's more of a show. They want to put on a show on the TV, on the news, or on the hearings, and I feel like they don't get too into the reading of the documents and what they're actually kind of doing and stuff like that. Because I feel like,
well, no, they were not working for the people. They're working for the party.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? They're not doing the people's work. I hate to go here because we don't necessarily want to get into political stuff here, but it wasn't but a few days back, maybe a week or so ago, that there was a hearing that was supposed to take place, on Capitol Hill at like 11 in the afternoon, but a large contingency, from the right, they traveled all the way to New York, and now everybody had on the same colors and whatnot as their, you know, well, I'll just say it, Trump. You know what I'm saying? They went there to support Trump in his trial and all that. So therefore, that hearing actually got put off until like 10 o'clock at night.
yeah. So that means our congressional people that didn't go to New York had to wait that whole entire day at the Capitol Hill for their so their constituents, the other ones that went to New York to come back and actually get the hearing started and stuff like that. And you know,
Right. I mean, they're worried about, what's going on with him instead of being in Congress doing what they were elected to do, work for the people, work on these issues. Let's work on, I mean, I just seen a thing today where they just overruled this thing where bump stops are now legal again. You know what bump stops are, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so this Second Amendment thing, the FTA, they had, it, or ATF, I'm sorry, they had outlawed using bump stops because it turns, semi-automatics into fully automatic rifles, right?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
like what happened in Vegas.
well, that was the example
Hmm.
of what can happen when you use one of these bump stops, or put one of these bump stops into your automatic semi-automatic weapon. So bottom line, the Second Amendment folks, they done got Supreme Court to reverse that decision.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
and I'm for the Second Amendment, but let's be real. When the Second Amendment was written, and we only had pistols, we didn't have machine guns, we didn't have jet fighters, we didn't have drones. So to
we didn't
say,
have we didn't have police forces. We had a sheriff and maybe a deputy. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and
I mean, we didn't really have a whole lot of full armies. We had a lot of militias.
yes, and I know they talk about it's for if so the government won't suppress the people, or if it's a militia government, we could stand up. But think about it, guys. If it was a militia or a government that was against the people, they have tanks, they have fighter jets, they got drones. You think a little AR-15 is gonna go against a jet, a drone, a bomb? But I'm
Exactly.
for the Second Amendment on the right that sometimes the law enforcement takes time to get to your house, and sometimes they might be or they will be an incident when somebody will try to come to your home and you might have to protect it. So even if you don't own a firearm, I'm all for arm safety. I know even with my kids, my oldest is going to turn 18. I'm going to take him to the gun range so he could know how to unload one and take care of one, even if he ever finds it in the street and he needs to unload it and put it up.
Oh,
Even if he might not even own a weapon, you need to know how to unarm one. You need
right,
to
right,
know
right,
because these things you may come across in your lifetime,
right,
and
right,
you
right.
need to know and even let young kids know that this is not a toy. Yes, we have army games and we have shooting games, but a gun is not a joke. It's
It's not, and it's
responsibility.
not a toy. Exactly. I mean, again, and maybe I'm giving the wrong impression myself as well. I am not against the Second Amendment right. I believe that we do have the right to carry weapons and and protect ourselves and all that good stuff. But again, let's keep it 100. We got to have, just like with AI. I'm sorry, we need guidelines, we need regulations, we need guardrails. I mean,
Extensive background checks.
extensive. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to give somebody that's been dealing with mental health issues all their life permission to carry a gun. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not going to give. I don't think people that are that are per se bipolar that may snap at any time. No, I don't want that person to have a gun. Somebody might have stepped on their toe, and next thing you know, they pull out an AK and kill everybody in the room. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, it's no, you got to have guidelines, you got to have regulations, just like anything else. Guidelines and regulations are there to keep the public safe. That's what
yeah,
they're for. I don't
especially our
care
young
whether
youth.
it's, I don't care if it's within corporate America and their manufacturing, whatever the case may be. I mean, guidelines and regulations are designed to keep people safe. That's exactly what it's all about. So, I mean, we got to have that stuff. So, and
That is
again,
true. We have
whether it's
regulations for banking, we have regulations for online, we have regulations for the cars, we have regulations for the aircraft that are flying. You know.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's all designed, again, to keep people safe.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just what it is. You know, that's when you just let everybody run amok, as they say, then you end up with mud, right? Again, I'm not so sure about, where a lot of the, Second Amendment folks say, well, if everybody had a gun, we'd have less crime. I don't know. I mean, on one hand, I want to believe that, you know what I'm saying? Because now, you know, but again, now what's that doing? That's putting us back in the Wild Wild West days. Okay, who's the fastest draw? The
Hmm.
good guy or the bad guy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just, that's a slippery slope. Again, I just think, people need to be responsible. I mean, if you got guns in your house and children, keep them. Well, even if you don't have children, keep them guns locked up. Somebody breaks into your house, they get a hold of your guns, they go out and kill somebody with your gun.
yeah. Even if you're into firearms and you collect them and keep your ammo locked up away from everybody, even for an intruder, won't get to them. Also, remember the updated guns now they have a fingerprint trigger that they won't fire without your fingerprint getting already accepted into the gun. Um, this can prevent a lot of gun theft. Selling your gun at these auctions that they have a loophole that you don't have to do a background check when you go to these events and they sell guns back and forth and they get
I
to
mean,
the
there's
street.
several different loopholes. I mean, as an example, back in the day, they used to have a gun show, pretty regular at the Pomona Fairgrounds, right? And
Hmm.
I mean, you go in there and you walk through, they got everything, all kind of, weaponry, guns, knives, all kind of stuff on, on display and on sale, right?
Hmm.
And the loophole is this: if they are a gun dealer, then they are required to do a background check on you. If they are a gun collector, they are not. They can
Hmm.
sell you a gun cash right over the right over the counter, right there. They
Hmm.
used to have guys that would sit outside. I mean, I remember, hopefully you're familiar with the fairground. They
Hmm.
got these little spots, where you can sit out there in the shade and whatever. And there'll be guys sitting outside with an old antique firearm, rifle or whatever, and he'll have a for sale sign on it. You go sit down and talk to him. He's got a backpack down by his feet. His backpack is full of brand new pistols.
Hmm.
I'm talking about in the box, wrapped in wax paper. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That they're selling. So again, there's loopholes. You got to close these loopholes. You got to stop making it so easy. I mean, other states, they talking about all. It's totally illegal to carry guns in New York. So what do the guys do? They go down to North Carolina, South Carolina, whatever, where you can just go in there without a background check and buy guns. And then what do? They take them right back to New York, sell them for two, three times whatever they paid for them.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
So I mean, again, it ain't you want to blame the people in the inner city for these guns, but what about the people that are going out of state and getting them and bringing them in? You know,
Yeah, there's more. I think there was a paper saying that there's is more weapons in rural America. Also, that rural America uses more of our government benefits than urban cities. So that's another myth that we got to dispel too. But yes, just like we got to be responsible citizens and vote, we have to be responsible citizens when it comes to our Second Amendment because it's something that I wouldn't like to see abolished. But we do need guidelines and strict guidelines because these are weapons that could take a child's life, and they have. I know we
yep.
don't held the companies and the manufacturers that make these guns accountable, but there is some stories about the Miss Western family and stuff like that. But even then, you know, even them, they feel guilty sometimes, but
I mean, I'm all for even insurance. When you go buy a gun, you got to have insurance, just like doctors have to have malpractice insurance, all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's just one little aspect of it. But I mean, whatever we can do to make it, where only people that are truly, sane and qualified or whatever, make sure that they've had, gun safety training, all this other kind of stuff before you just hand them a gun and say, okay, go have a nice day,
just wait 2 weeks and the gun will be there. Here's a
Yeah.
little book.
That's crazy. But anyway, that's the world we live in. And the only way we can change it is what? Like you said, we got to vote. I mean, again, we ain't going to sit here and try to tell you who to vote for, but, your vote matters. They're trying to take your vote away right now. Pay attention to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Get out, vote for what's right, vote for democracy. Let's keep democracy alive. Okay. Yes, America is an experiment, but guess what? It's been working for almost 250 years now.
Yes,
Okay.
it's true. It's true. And then Franklin said that he couldn't see it past 200 years, but we're doing it. We just got to keep core to our values and value life and things like that, and do our job as a citizen. And what I was gonna say also on that note, oh man, my thought just raced out of my head.
But again, like I said, 2 more years, and we got 250 years that this experiment has been working fine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. Does it still need some tweaking? Yeah, that's why we have amendments to the Constitution. As time goes on and we evolve and technology and all this other kind of stuff, we're allowed to make amendments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To our Constitution and all this kind of stuff to counteract some of this kind of stuff. So again, but the only way that happens, we got to vote. We got to vote. I mean, I'm sorry, we got to vote. So
Yeah.
don't pass it by. Go cast your vote. Let's get it done. Let's do what we got to do. Again, we got a very, very, very important election coming up this year. To me, the fate of democracy is in this election this year. Okay, we got to keep that democracy alive.
Also, guys, I just remembered. Look up Project 25 to get informed of the upcoming plans and stuff like that of groups. So look that up. Yeah, I might be surprised of what's right there. And this is an agenda put out by an official party. So just look it up and read it, and you're gonna be like, whoa.
So,
but that aside,
right.
Thank God it's Friday. God.
Yeah, and Paul said, have a good day, everybody. And since he's retired, he wants to do mimosa time with Paul, with the Howards.
Yeah, I'm all for that, Paul.
All right. So anyway, what you got planned for the weekend, Brett? Anything special?
No, just getting ready for this turning up in paint.
Okay. Pedro, what about yourself?
Graduating parties. My son just graduated. My better's half nephew just graduated. Congratulations to my son. Congratulations to her nephew for taking another step in their future. They're growing up. I know Monica feels the same way. Her nephew's been getting bigger and taller. My son is surpassing me in height, and he's already enrolled in college and things like that. So, just celebrating that weekend. It was prom 2 weeks ago. Now it's graduation.
Well. Do they still do grad night at Disneyland?
I don't know. Honestly, he didn't even go there. We went to college and did it over there.
Well, I mean, back in my day when we graduated, the Disneyland was shut down. It was for all graduates, and we got in free. It was grad night, where everybody used to be able to just go to Disneyland and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know. See, I'm showing my age right now. Believe it or
They will
not.
lose money.
Well, no,
Money.
believe it or not, back in the day, Pedro, you used to have to buy ticket books at
Yeah,
Disneyland.
I remember.
Okay. And then on special nights like grad night or what they used to call spring fling or whatever, you just paid one admission and then you go in and just ride whatever, right? So now that's the norm. You know, you just pay one price and hopefully you don't have to stand in line for 3 hours to get on one ride.
Oh wow. But if it's grad night and they're getting in for free, expect those long lines.
Right.
It is the happiest place on earth, they say, but it is the place where you're gonna stand in line in the world.
Well,
Spend more hours standing in lines than being in the rides.
Right. So, but on that note, everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Come join us tonight on movie night. Let's watch a movie together. And we'll see you on the next one, Monday morning. Everybody have a great day. And we'll talk to you on the next one. Have a great day.